Hi Shogi fans. Today I'm gonna talk about a professional Shogi game. It was played between Tomoka Nishiyama and Hiroki Taniai in the 2023 in the Asahi Cup Tournament. As you may already know, both players are ranging rook specialists, and a double ranging rook match was expected, and Nishiyama was black and she plays Rook to 7-8 for the first move, so determined. And he opens up the diagonal, and immediately after that he closes the diagonal. He doesn't usually mind playing double ranging rook match, so that was normal to him. And here Nishiyama can exchange pawns, but if she does, white can offer rook exchange. It's going to be very complicated because there will be no established standards from this point forward, so white would hesitate, but it's possible, right? So Nishiyama wants to avoid this situation and she goes for castling. And a black can exchange pawns anytime soon, so there is no rush. However, Nishiyama decides to exchange pawns here after seeing this, because if white does this, he's going to lose one tempo, right? There will be no big difference, but for professionals, losing one tempo early on is a big disadvantage. So here he pushes this rook pawn instead. And she covers these squares and prevents him from exchanging pawns. And the pawn push on the edge is really important because it makes the edge bishop attack possible, right? And it can happen frequently as when it comes to ranging rook matches. And to maximize the edge bishop, she pushes this central pawn as well. And also, this seems to be her favorite structure. I've seen so many times this structure in her games, and I also like this structure because it's clear and very effective. And she sends more troop, and pawn push to 5-5. White tries to punish the pawn, and she defends, and it's going to give more boost for the attack against the central file. And at this moment, white is running out of moves and can't actually initiate the attack, so white wants to wait. And she completes castling. And this movement is also very important because if black pushes this pawn without this, black is going to lose the knight, right? So it is more secure. White wants to cover this square, but Nishiyama was faster and she punishes this pawn by pawn to 4-6. If white takes this pawn, the silver will advance, right? And white doesn't like that idea, so he plays silver to 4-4 and pawn to 5-8. If silver goes this way, then rook to 3-5, 3-6, or rook to 7-6 is possible. Now the silver can't go back, right? And since he took the pawn, black can drop the pawn to 5-4 to open up the line. So it is not the best choice for white. So white takes the pawn instead. And she offers silver exchange. And if silver runs, again, pawn push to 5-4 is possible because the protection of the rook is now blocked, right? And white accepts the silver trade, and rook takes and pawn drop. And here Nishiyama shows interesting move. Pawn drop to 4-2, simply aiming for the next promotion. And if gold takes it, this silver drop is obvious, right? And his defense will get weak. But if bishop takes it, silver drop to 3-2 would be possible. If white tries to save a piece and defend like that, then black can drop a pawn, and bishop runs, and again pawn push to 5-4. If a white defends like this, for example, then silver to 4-1 unpromoted will be effective. If gold runs, then the black can promote the silver because the bishop will be dead. So it is very difficult situation for white, and instead of dealing with it, he decides to attack this bishop by pawn to 8-4. That also opens up the escape square right here. And she promotes the pawn to a5, and bishop runs. And this silver drop is scary because if black plays something passive like this, for example, white can make a check. Pawn drop doesn't work because white can sacrifice the silver, and then black is going to lose the rook. Even if he runs, this pawn drop is strong, and white will be able to break through the second file. So Nishiyama doesn't like this situation, and she drops a pawn to 4-6 to block these potential threatening lines. And he drops the pawn now. And again, if king runs, this will be strong. So she has to accept the trade, and silver takes and king takes. Then white skewers these major pieces, and he needs more materials, right? So this move was reasonable, and she asks white to take the bishop now because Nishiyama also needs more materials to keep attacking. But at this moment, Nishiyama is gaining more control because her pieces are working great, although the king is almost naked. It's well exposed compared to his. Nishiyama was still better, and she picks up the speed by sacrificing the promoted pawn. And rook drop. If white wants to hold the initiative, he can play silver to port 2, but he's going to lose material and his offense gets weaker. So he doesn't want to do that. And Nishiyama attacks the bishop because he doesn't want the bishop here. And before saving the bishop, he promotes the pawn to make her defense a little unstable. And also, this makes a future pawn drop possible, right? And then he promotes the bishop. This was a bit surprising to me because this was obvious, right? And she actually did it to apply more pressure around the king and attack the horse, but this was according to his plan. He actually ignores the attack and dropped the pawn here. If black takes the horse, this bishop drop is strong. It's a threat mate actually. Also, the bishop is looking at the rook, right? So black will be in the trouble. And of course Nishiyama knows it, and actually she makes a check. And king runs and she takes the horse. What's the difference? Actually, here there is a mate since Nishiyama has extra piece in hand, but white was already giving up and actually looking for where to resign. And he sets a threat mate, and Nishiyama drops the bishop to 7-4 and white resigns. If a pawn takes it, silver advances, right? And obviously he can't drop back, so he has to take the knight, and then Nishiyama can finish up by silver drop. Even if king runs, it's going to be the same, like this. Alright, this is the end. I'm glad I was able to show you good new resource for study, and I hope it's been helpful. And as always, thanks for watching and see you all next time. Bye.